Hi, today I'm going to show you how to use one of these, a Moka pot, to brew espresso-like coffee at home. Now, you get these in all kinds of shapes and sizes, different designs, different colours. Generally they're made out of either aluminium, like this one, or stainless steel. And I know my mum's got one, which is a very old one, and she's always dead confused about how it works, but they're actually quite simple. And the basic idea of it, you fill this pot with water, you have your coffee grounds in here, in this kind of area. You boil the water and it gets pushed up with steam through the coffee grinds and comes out of the spout in the top here. Okay, so just in there, comes out, fills this part, the top part of the container. So what you're going to need is obviously you're going to need a Moka pot, a cup to drink your coffee out of, some coffee. I've got some whole beans here which are pre-ground, but you can get pre-ground stuff in the supermarkets, it's perfectly fine. I recommend the Lavazza stuff is often quite good for this. It's the right kind of grind. You want something that's quite a fine grind, not too fine, but fine enough. Okay, so first step, unscrew the Moka pot and take out this little bit here. And this is where you're going to put your coffee. So you're going to fill that with coffee. Okay, you don't have to pack it down firmly or anything like that, but just level it off at the top, and that's good. Okay, now we can put that to one side. The next step, we need to fill the inside pot, and if you notice on the front there's a little pressure valve just underneath with water. I've pre-boiled some water just to speed this process up. So pour that in, add the little coffee cradle back into there, screw on the lid nice and tight. Obviously that's going to be hot if you pour it in boiling water, don't do what I've just done. I've got chemist fingers though, so I can roughly take it. And on mine, I know when it's screwed on properly because the spout and the pressure valve point in the same direction. Then put it on the hob, put on the heat, and then just leave it to boil. Now I think this is almost coming to the boil. Top of the pot is hot, so as you can see I've got it on the lowest burner on my hob, but that's on kind of a medium heat. How long it takes to boil depends on if you've used boiling water already, and obviously what temperature you put it on. You'll read all this advice about putting it on a low heat so you don't burn the coffee, but I think that's a little bit of a fuss, but if you listen carefully you can start to hear the noise of it boiling and coming through, and that's a good sign. That's the sign that the coffee's about to be ready. And if you look carefully in the top, you can just see it coming out the top now. Just keep the lid down, because that lets all the coffee condense and form into the liquid and fall into the bottom part. Obviously if you're doing this, watch out if you've got a plastic handle like I do here, that you don't stick that over a flame and melt it. So I've not done that, as you can see here. It's perfectly good. And that sounds like it's getting towards done. You can see lots of steam coming out. You might not be able to see that. If you put something dark in the background, you'll be able to see it. The other way around. Quick check. No, it's still coming out. Okay, and I think at that point I'm now going to call it done, so I'm going to turn the heat off, leave it a few seconds to cool down, because as you can see you've got a lot of steam coming off, and if you lift up the top you can end up scalding yourself if you're not careful. So at this point, if you feel like you want to put some sugar inside, then however much you want, 1 or 2 teaspoons depending on the size, you can add it straight into the top. Apparently that's quite a traditional way to do it, and give it a stir. Now, a little bit of a pro tip here, pouring it might seem a simple matter of just pouring it, but often what happens if you pour it like this, and I'll try and do a demonstration here, is the coffee runs out down the bottom. So one of my little tips is I hold up the top, and then I can see the level of the liquid, and I don't pour it too much so it pours out the side there. And there you go. One piping hot cup of espresso. and in a minute, after I've enjoyed this, I'll take this apart and show you how to clean it, because it's a little bit fussy, a little bit tricky. Definitely don't stick it in the dishwasher. When you finish your coffee and you come to clean it, very simple. Firstly, make sure it's not too hot. Unscrew the coffee maker, remove the top. Carefully, you can just get your fingers inside and under the ridge most of the time. Pull out the, I've got broken finger making it a bit more difficult. Pull out this part, the part with the coffee in it. You can tap that directly into your bin using a plastic cup here. Okay, so most of it comes out. Obviously it's a bit wet, so it won't come out properly. You can then go and rinse that through with lots and lots of water, or plenty of water to get it clean. Give it a little wipe with a soft cloth or a sponge. Don't smack it too hard, because if it's made out of aluminium especially, it's really easy to bend out of shape, as you can see there. Okay, it's easy enough to bend back into shape, but you don't really want to be doing that too much, because it's a bit more problematic. As for the rest of it, just a quick wash, wipe out with a soft cloth or a sponge again. If you want to remove the bottom bit here and clean under the filter, you can get either a fork or a knife or something. Just lever up that rubber seal. That bit drops out. You can give all that a good clean to replace it. It's nice and simple. The bit with the ridge, the lip, faces down. Okay, so I'll show you that again. So you can see that on the inside, goes in there. You place the rubber seal around the edge, put that back in, and again, inside bit, just tip out the water, that'll be in there. Give it a little wipe out, and leave it to, and then, well, give it a good dry. Don't leave it to dry. If you leave it to dry on the inside, you'll end up with some little white marks, and those little white marks tend to be, I think, anyway, as far as I understand it, they're going to be your aluminium salts, which is not necessarily going to harm you too much, but it just doesn't look particularly good. So make sure you dry them. What I often do is I give it a quick dry and then I just put it on the hob for about 30 seconds to boil off any water. But that's it. So these things are great for making an espresso style coffee. It's not quite as strong as espresso, it's not quite as powerful and as flavourful. I really like espresso style coffee, it's my favourite kind, so this little device is wonderful for me. And if you've got access to, if you're like me, a school teacher, you can also use them on top of a Bunsen burner, which is always good fun when you're wanting a caffeine fix at school. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you've got any questions. You can find these plentiful places, Tesco, Amazon, any retailer like that. I don't really know if there's any much difference in between them all. I think so long as they're fairly sturdy, they'll be fine. Alright, take care guys, I hope you enjoyed that, and keep drinking coffee.